The United Nations, Sweden and Switzerland took the initiative to organize Yemen's Donors Conference yesterday. Yet, the amount of money that was offered by donors was less than expected, as if the entire world has left vulnerable Yemenis behind. The following report has more details.
Following today's high-level Yemen pledging conference in Geneva, INGOs operating in Yemen are gravely worried that, despite the severe deterioration of an already dire humanitarian catastrophe, international leaders offered less than $1.3 billion. This cut in financing will have a significant impact on the lives of Yemenis. While all donors at the meeting emphasized the gravity of the humanitarian crisis in Yemen, the offered $1.3 billion falls short of the requirements stated by the humanitarian community in Yemen by around $2.9 billion. The budget shortage coincides with an increase in the number of people in need in Yemen. The UN was hoping to generate $4.27 billion to support 17.3 million people, but only raised $1.3 billion, with heavy contributors going missing, which prompted organizers to consider holding a second conference later this year. The UN considers war-torn Yemen as the world's worst humanitarian crisis, and the UN Secretary General voiced his disappointment over the funding shortage.
Excellencies, the scope of our response must match the scale of the challenge. We must address the underlying drivers of humanitarian need, break the cycle of violence, and change Yemen's trajectory. And this means stabilizing the economy and restoring basic services. It means supporting the efforts of my special envoy to help the parties find a peaceful resolution to the conflict. And it means an immediate end to hostilities. There is no military solution, and yet we see a multiplication of front lines, increasing numbers of civilian casualties, and instability radiating across the entire region. Allowing the war to continue is a choice, but ending it is also a choice. And I appeal to the parties to choose peace.
As funding for the humanitarian response in Yemen continues to decline yearly, relief organizations have already been compelled to restrict life-saving support. The present financing deficit will have an immediate and serious impact on the lives of millions of Yemeni citizens. We urge the international community to continue its support for the people of Yemen. We must not lose sight of them.